Right, so if it's going to stop me out, this candle and the subsequent candles onwards should move towards my stop loss. Let's just say if I'm bearish and I'm shorting this fair value gap right here, I'm just going to leave my stops here. If it takes me out, it takes me out. I don't really want to micromanage, because I understand that right now price is in a very unfavorable condition, and what I anticipated here pan out, and we have a closing price above this last down close candle. So this is my personal model, so I'm just going to follow the model regardless of whether it pans out or not. I'm just going to let my stop loss do its job, right? So right now we're in a little bit of a high resistance liquidity run condition, but as you can see, ES is having issues moving lower as compared to NQ, right? Which is why I chose to long ES instead. Over here, right at the beginning of the session, this was highlighted. Right, so let's see what price wants to do. Okay, so right now if I am taking a short in that fair value gap right here, I'll be thinking of closing the position, this fair value gap, this bearish fair value gap. If I were to short in this fair value gap, I wouldn't like to see this, because this up close candle is closing above 50% of this fair value gap. Alright, this is not what I want to see. At the same time, if you take a look at the lows here, and between ES and NQ, it's a SMT. So ES higher lows, NQ lower lows. Once we get a closing price above these two down close candles, I'll move my stops to this swing low here. So we have completely closed up and above this bearish fair value gap. That is in my favor. So let's see if we start to push higher. To me personally, what I want to see is after we close above these two down close candles, I would like to see price expand in a very speedy delivery, which means like a very fast, low resistance liquidity expansion. That is what I want to see. Right, so right now we are returning back into this small little fair value gap here. This trade might take longer than what I was anticipating because of the current underlying market conditions. Right, because so far we are still within the range. We are not breaking out the range yet. Right, look at NQ right here. So this Fibs is actually the very first order block that formed this SMT of this lows here against ES. So this is the 50% of that order block. Right. So far so good. Because of these two down close candles formation, I don't really want to see price return back down into this low here. That's just my personal preference, right? But as long as we are within Q2's range, it can just return back into 50% of this high and this low. Okay, so this high and this low, this is Q2's dealing range. So far we are not trading above it. We're still within the range. So that's what I mean by we're still trading within the range here. We're not breaking out just yet. For NQ, it's pretty much the same, but NQ is showing slightly more strength than ES. It's breaking away right now, as you can see this candle here. So I would like to see ES do the same because it has higher lows. So it should be more violent in terms of expansions as compared to NQ right here. So far we have not closed above this candle's high yet. Now let's see if we do that at this very candle. Not yet. NQ seems to have a better price action, better quality price action here. From here, this level to this level here, that's about 20 points, right? Let's say if I just take this fair value gaps high to this level here, that is already 20 points. That would be more than enough to cover the entire day. Kind of regretful not taking a position here, but let's see. Alright, so right now I'm using NQ to gauge the strength. I don't like how this is going here. Right. So right here. This to me looks like a stop hunt. If NQ is closing below this candle's low, I'll cut my position. We have 10 more seconds, 15 more seconds to go. Right. See, I don't like how NQ taken out this buy stops, and then after that trading into this premium fair value gap, and then it has closed below this two up close candles here. Okay, so two things can happen. We're not going anywhere, we're just going to chop around this range, or we're going to expand further downwards. So in this particular scenario, ES is slightly more bearish than NQ. Let's see. Right, so right now you can see that Q3 is taking out Q2's high and Q2's low. This is a sign of seek and destroy, so I wouldn't try to rush in the short right now, because I have to make sure that I don't get chopped up in the seek and destroy profile. Right, I'm going to remove the fibs here. Right now it's invalidated that those fibs. Still gonna keep the lows down here. Okay, I'm going to remove this as well. It's irrelevant. It's just going to affect my judgment. We don't really have any SMT on the highs. But we have SMT on the lows between Q2 and Q3. Right, so if price runs into the highs here, this is classic seek and destroy profile, which is very difficult to trade. Let's see. Now I have a bigger order block to deal with, which is not something that I would prefer, but it makes sense that I don't go in and short as soon as I am taken out, right? So if you look at the price action right now, it doesn't seem like it wants to go lower, and it doesn't seem like it wants to go higher. Right, so we're still trading within the range. Q2's high, Q2's low. We're still here. And Q is the same. Okay, so right now we are moving into Q4. So let's see if we have Q4 taking out Q3's highs and lows as well. If you look at the 5 minutes and the 15 minutes, we are still in a bearish order flow. So if you can provide me with a SMT on the highs, I would be more comfortable shorting. Right, so as you can see right now, ES is lagging behind in everything that NQ does. When NQ trades higher, ES lags. When NQ trades lower, ES lags as well. So we're really not in a very good market condition for now. and there is no SMT above for me to validate any shorts prior to this rundown on NQ. But anyways, we are trading within that range as well. It can very highly possibility, it can probably just comes back up after taking out this sell stops, just like how it went back. It went up here, took out all the buy stops, and then reversed back down into the range. So let's see, because ES is not leaving the range, that is for sure. So let's see what NQ decides to do. Keeping in mind that right now NQ is also within a higher time frame PDRA. We are in the weekly fair value gap. In 5 more minutes, we will be entering the 11:50 to 12 o'clock's macro. So I'm really curious to see what the macro is going to provide. It is looking like we are going to close heavy on this 6 hours candle. Close heavy meaning we are going to close very near to the low of the 6 hours candle. Yep, so we did not have any SMT on the highs for me to work with. That's unfortunate. If ES is to really going to expand lower, this fair value gap should be the maximum retracement to send the price lower. I'm not going to take this trade obviously because it's against my overall context here, because right now we're in a high resistance liquidity run condition, the low probability conditions. Taking this short entry at very near to the lows is a very risky thing to do because it can just wipe you out in one 30-second candle. So I'm just going to be staying on the sidelines and I'll wait and watch where we close on the 6 hours time frame. Right, so this is what I meant. Naturally, if you're shorting here, your stops would be at least at this candle's high. So with this one candle it's gonna take me out, and the next available swing high is right here, so this candle would have taken me out as well. So this is the reason why I don't want to take this fair value gap here. Overall, yes, it's back into the range. This is a very difficult market to trade in for now. It's not going to be like this every single day, but just for today, because London has moved a lot, like way too much. So AM session is usually going to be crappy. So let's take a look at this fair value gap here. I'm not trying to engage in the market right now. Okay, so I'm just watching, observing. I'm not doing anything. Let me look at this candle right here. This is screaming, don't trade. Alright, so over here at my initial trade, one thing that I can improve on is do they allow me to show executions? Let me take a look. Yeah, over here. Yep. It did not show. That's weird. Oh, I didn't save. Alright, there you go. So just to do a quick review of what I could have done better. I was on a 1 minute chart. My entry was right here, and price traded back up, creating this SMT on lows. The first thing that I should do is to trail my stops here after it has run up above this swing high, because this to me, SMT lows, this low should be safe. Second thing is that when price took out this high here, Q2's high, and NQ was trading higher, I should have trailed my stops down here. Because the thing is that if price is to expand aggressively upwards, the down close candles should be respected. But you can see that right here at this candle, we closed almost at the low of this bullish order block. So this to me screams we're not gonna continue higher in a way that you think that, okay, let me rephrase this, we are not going to expand higher very quickly. We're just gonna reach back and probably do something like accumulation or something like this, seek and destroy. So this is I think one way that I could play it better. Right, so I'm gonna note this down and hopefully not repeat the same mistakes in the future. I have to be very nimble with my stops when I'm trading the lower time frames. Alright, so just a quick review here, right? And right now, let's move back into the charts. Okay, let's remove the executions. Alright, so now we are at 12. I'm going to remove all the previous annotations and we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so the lowest low from 6 to 12 is right here and right here. This is the lowest low. Okay, on 5 minutes we have this fair value gap for NQ. And we have ES is just very messy here. Let's look at 15 minutes. We don't really have anything for the 15 minutes as well. Alright, cool. So for ES, I don't have anything. Yeah, or even a lower time frame. So I'm just gonna watch and see what happens when NQ trades into this 5 minutes fair value gap. To me, what I think is that we're probably going to take out this low first before any form of retracements. That is what I think. Okay, I'm gonna mark 12 here. 12 o'clock. I'm watching to see if I can get a little scalp on NQ. Right, just to cover my losses and I'll be done for the day. I don't want to push too hard in such a condition. Right, so over here we have equal highs. I don't really count this as SMT, you know. Let me double check. The previous session. No, I don't want to do that. So, yep, I'm not going to count that as SMT. I'm just going to wait. Okay. So what I can see right now is that we are close below this 2 up close candle. At this candle here. So if it is going to be bearish, it should trade to 0.25 or maximum 0.5 and then reverse lower. That is in theory. You don't really want to see 75 tag and if it does, we're in another low probability condition. Okay, so over here, let's take a look at 5 seconds. Right now, bearish order flow. Fair value gaps, volume imbalances, entries, stops here. We're gonna look for this low right here. Once it takes out these two lows, I want to see speed, which means teleportation lower, right? Still within the fair value gap, right here. Okay, don't really want to see this fair value gap be traded and closed above. You want to see the next green candle form, not here, but I wanted to say formed only when you see a black candle closing below this candle here. So right now order flow is neutral. I don't like this at all. This is not good if I were in shorts. Okay, last chance here. Any fair value gaps or stops above here? Yep, volume imbalance counted. Here. Oh, you really can't annotate on the 5 seconds. Right, so you see this green candle here, this is supposed to be the order block, right? You don't want to see this traded through and above. Look at how long it spans down here. I don't like this at all. So we're just trading sideways for now. Alright, so back to the 1 minute. Boring. I thought we would get some interesting price actions on the lower time frames, but it's the same. Gotta keep this on. Right, so this order block is still valid until we tag 75. Then it will become invalidate. I mean, it would invalidate this order block here. Finally, yeah. So you really want to see price just trades lower without any resistance, taking out this low here. Okay. What happened on the 5 seconds? Right. Oh, yes. Look at the ES here. This is just the precision, man. The precision. Alright, finally we tag that low on ES. NQ didn't even reach into this 5 minutes fair value gap, which also means it's very bearish. Right, we're gonna watch as this candle closes below this 2 order blocks, and I'm gonna utilize this 2 order block as a potential short scalp. Right, let's take a look. Right, we tag the low. I'm looking for a stop hunt within that particular order block. And if the 5 minutes is kind enough to give me a green candle, that would be perfect. I'm looking to trade to 50% of the weekly, is it weekly? Let me double check. Yeah, of the weekly order block, 50%. Okay, so right now I'm waiting for two things. A green candle on the 5 minutes, and best case scenario SMT within the order block. So why am I looking for a green candle on the 5 minutes? It is because if you're in a bearish order flow, once or any green candle that forms, you are expecting the next down close candle to engulf or to just basically overshadow the green candles because you're in a bearish order flow. Okay, you can do that vice versa when you're in a bullish order flow. So this is a very good example. So these two consecutive up close candles, this is your green candle, and as you can see, the following consecutive up close candles just ran through and closed below the green candle. Right over here as well. I mean, this is an exception. Right? Let me show you on higher time frames. Right, so on the 5 minutes, it's the same thing here. If you're in a very bearish order flow, this is the thing that you're looking for. Right here as well. But usually when you see this, it's the start of a new expansion. Okay. Where else? Right over here as well. Right, so yeah, basically I'm just waiting for that to happen. Because right now we are expanding, so that's also another reason why I'm looking for that. But one thing that is not too good about my current buyers is that the whole morning they are all entering shorts due to the overnight price action. So right now the majority of the profits are in shorts. Okay, so that's just one of the reasons that I should be careful of. SMT, this highs here and this highs here. Right, I'm just watching, I'm not engaging yet. It hasn't given me a clear reason to do so in terms of entries. I don't see any entries, so to speak. If it runs down without providing a clear entry, then that's just too bad. There's nothing I can do to prevent that from happening. But so far it looks like it's going to play out as I anticipated, but I wouldn't be able to catch on the ride, so to speak. I can't access 10 seconds. SMT here. I don't like it when price is stalling right over here. Look at the low here. This is the most this is the low hanging fruit, right? And it's not wanting to take it out in one swoop. It just accumulates down here, and then after that maybe eventually it reacts down here, but the way it reaches this level here is just, I mean, like, look at this. Look at this. It's just very what do you say, annoying, irritating. Yeah, so naturally once it takes out this low, I would expect price to just teleport down into this low here. That is my expectations. Okay, so if I really want to force it, this fair value gap would be the last defense, and if it closes above, then I think this low right here is going to be left open. Okay, so the fair value gap is this one, and there you have it. It took out the low here. ES did not take out the lows here. So right now I think we're good for a reversal. Let's see if I can catch some longs. On the second thought, I think that I don't want to play against the order flow, so I'm not gonna look for longs. I'm just gonna wait and see if there's any opening I can get to continue the downtrend. Alright, so far the price action hasn't been that great, so I'm probably just gonna call it a day, and then maybe in the PM session I might find something. But so far I find it right now it's quite difficult to trade, so I'm just gonna leave it at that. Because we have accumulation, expansion, but this expansion was how would you say it? It's not in sync, you know, it just feels very decoupled, and I mean not in terms of direction, but in terms of the lower time frame expansions. So, and the other thing is that I don't do well in trending markets, so I'm just gonna leave it, and if I don't get anything out of it, then so be it. Yeah, I mean, like, look at the price action now. It's just very difficult. Okay, now with that, I think I'm gonna end the session here, but let's take a look at the higher time frame. Where is the higher time frame? Okay, right here. So on the higher time frames, this is what we have. Okay, so I mentioned that during the weekly forecast I was looking for this low here, because this is the weekly fair value gap for Nasdaq, and for ES I was looking for this low right here. Okay, so I was initially I was expecting this in the first half of the week, right? But on Monday and Tuesday we were sort of accumulating within the last week candle, and then only on Wednesday, today, we dropped lower into this weekly fair value gap. I believe ES is going to make its way there, right? At this rate that we are dropping for NQ, I think we can reach for this swing low by the end of Friday, because right now it seems to me that we are in a expansion week, right? So right here you can see it's pretty obvious. Let's go for the 6 hours. Okay, so here you can see that this is the previous week's high for Nasdaq, and this is the previous week's high for ES. Sorry, this high here. So ES took out the previous week's high, NQ did not. So this is a very clear SMT. Okay, initially what I was looking for is to see if AM session, this is the AM session candle, 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. I was looking to see if we can trade back into this two up close candles. So this would be my order block entry, right? For this entry here, I don't even have to look for anything on the lower time frames. All I have to do is to key my entry at a low or at the 25% and just let it ride. to this fair value gap and below. So unfortunately I did not the price did not offer me that move, so I was forced to sort of look for tiny little scalps in between this range here, this candle here. Okay, and if you have been watching the live stream, it didn't turn out good, so I sustained a loss of about $215. That's not too bad. Okay, it's just a small loss, small paper cut for Wednesday, right? So for moving forward, what am I expecting for ES would be this level here. This is the weekly fair value gap, by the way, and NQ right here. If you look at this order block here, we are reaching close to 0.5. okay, I believe we're going to tag this level in the PM session from 12 to the market close, and for tomorrow we are probably going to reach into the 75, and I want to see if ES is able to reach into this level here, and then I'll call it Thursday reversal / retracement. Okay, so because tomorrow it's going to be Thursday, I'm expecting some sort of retracement for Thursday, because on the Wednesday it's a large range candle. Okay, so I'm expecting Thursday to be retracement, and then Friday continuation of the weekly bearish order flow, which is why I am anticipating that on Friday we are probably going to reach below here, at least to the 75% for NQ and the weekly fair value gap for ES. Alright, unfortunately I think this is going to be a breakaway gap. That is not what I want to see because I was actively looking to enter short positions up here, way up here. Okay, because that was my goal, and we're in Q3, so this could be the monthly reversal for me, right? So what do I mean by monthly reversal? If you take a look at Q1, this is Q1, the first week of July. We printed a expansion profile. This is week 2 of July, another expansion profile. Right, so week 3 is Q3 basically. Initially I was looking for SMT on the lows, and then we continue higher in Q4, but we have SMT on the highs instead. So to me this looks like a reversal. We have Q3 taking out Q2's high SMT, and then to me this looks like a reversal to me. Okay, even if it's not a reversal, then you're basically looking for 50% of the dealing range. This is, it's coincidence? I don't think so. Okay, over here 50% of the dealing range from this move here. Okay, so right now we are below 50% for NQ. Okay, that is also why I think that for NQ we're way more bearish, and we're probably going to see a full reversal by the end of the month. Okay, so let's see. If the candle closes like this, which means that there is a fair value gap right here, this fair value gap is going to be a high probability fair value gap because it took out this this swing low here. This was the swing low that made this high. So if you look at in context of patterns, right? So you have high, low, higher high, and then low. Usually this is your breaker, and then your fair value gap is somewhere around here, right? So this is where we have, this is what we have. So heading towards tomorrow, if we take out sell side first, then I will look to trade back up into this fair value gap. Okay, but personally I don't like to do that because it's against the order flow, right? So the best case scenario is to wait for price to trade into this fair value gap, and then you take a short into this objective here. Okay, so how would I use the fair value gap right here? Basically 0 and 0.25 would be the entry, right? Usually for higher time frames I would use 0.25. Right, so let's take a look at this particular fair value gap right here. This is in an event the candle closes like this. Okay, if the candle closes something else, then we're gonna, you're gonna have to evaluate yourself. Best case scenario, this candle closes a green candle. That is the best case scenario, right? So maybe in the lunchtime we do some sort of short-term retracement. That would be the best, because on Thursday and Friday it's going to be continuation lower, right? So if this is a green candle, that would be the best, or the subsequent candles, any green candles that form after this, from now onwards. Okay, I'm gonna treat that as a range that is going to be overshadowed, right? So something like what the green candles are doing to the black candles on the way up. So as you can see, bullish order flow, one black candle, one down close candle, subsequently you get green candles, one down close candle. This is accumulation. Okay, accumulation, up close candle, down close candle, down close candle, up close candle, down close candle. You always get a down close candle before the next expansion. Green candles all the way. This is your doji candles, and then your down close candle here, and then expansion. So this is what I'm looking for. Okay, similar to this this price action here. Down close candles, expansion, down close candle, down close candle, expansion. Right, for NQ is the same. Down close candles, expansion, down close candles, down close candle, expansion, down close candle, major expansion, down close candle, another major expansion. So this is within the span of 6-hour candles, right? Down close candles, expansion. So this is what I'm looking for, right? So if we get a green candle here, subsequent green candles that form before we get this objective, that would be the best of the best, right? So I'm gonna hope for that, and hopefully I'll be able to catch that in the following days before the week closes. Okay, so with this I'm gonna end the session here, right? Thanks for watching. If you find it helpful or if you gain any insights, do leave a like, and if you have any questions, do leave it in the comment section down below. Good luck trading. Today wasn't the best day, right? So stay safe. That's it.